Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back in to What You Need When You Need It. Yes, it's Friday. I know this episode is coming out a little bit late, but I was so exhausted yesterday that I just could not get the energy up to do this. But I'm going to do a super quick episode just about budgeting and how to keep your finances balanced. So let's jump right in. All right, so my first tip is try to use apps that will assist you in making a budget and then give you reminders or alerts when you're approaching those limits. I personally use Mint. It's a great app because it also allows me to put in the bills that I have to pay for the month, so I could connect it to my AT&T account, I could connect it to my student loans, I could connect it to my rent account, so it knows the day that those bills are due, and it'll keep giving me reminders. Like, I think it gives me a 2-week reminder, a 1-week reminder, and the day of reminder. So that one is pretty amazing. Again, it's called Mint, and I'm not sponsored by them, just to let you know. Another thing that I like to do is I have a group of people that each month, I think it's like 12 of us, each month we contribute a certain amount of money to a lump sum. So let's say that we all contribute $1,000 a month, and then each month one person gets that total amount. So if there's 12 of us, then each month one person is getting $12,000. The great thing about this is that in case of an emergency, you can always switch months with somebody else. Like, if you haven't received your lump sum yet, then you can switch with another person if you have like a medical emergency, or if, let's say, you get in a car accident and you need to pay some stuff off, like anything that happens, or your house floods and you need to get the carpet cleaned and the water sucked out, like, you could switch with somebody else. You just have to talk to them. It's also amazing because it's a great way to save money. You don't have the funds on hand, so you don't dip into it for little things like, oh, I really could use a new blouse or something. You don't have that money with you, so you can't use it. But on the month that you do get it, it's such a large amount of money that it can really make a difference in a lot of your bills at once. So let's say you have like $30,000 in student loans. On your month, you could pay $12,000 of your student loans off. Isn't that amazing? Like, it's awesome. Anyways, what else do I use? I try my best to prioritize when my bills should be paid. So, like, I will do my rent, my phone bill, my gas and electric, all on one paycheck. Meaning that on the next paycheck, I have its entirety to either save it or use it how I want to. So I'm not always thinking that, oh, the second I get paid, all my money is gone. That's just for one paycheck a month, which is awesome. Anyways, you should always try to save at least 10% of each paycheck that you get. So let's say you get a $2,000 paycheck twice a month. You should be saving about $200, yeah, each time. So that's $400 a month. And that could really make a difference in your savings account and your financial stability. So try to do that. And if you can't do 10%, then start with 5%. Start with anything that you can do. It's never too early to start saving for an emergency or a retirement fund. It really does add up over time. So yeah, do that. Also, I know a lot of us have student loans, and you graduated thinking that, oh, it's going to be easy to pay those back, but the interest really adds up. So while you're in school, try to pay off the interest as you're going, if you can do that. I know most of us worked through college as well, so start in college paying for your student loans if you can. After you graduate, try to start paying the minimum that they give you, and then contribute a little bit extra to the student loan that has the highest percentage or interest percent. Yeah, that really makes a difference, because the sooner you can cut that down, then in the long run you'll be paying less back to the government or back to whoever you borrowed money from. So keep that in mind. Another tip is that for the tough months that I have, I try to not spend on frivolous things. So that means that I'm not going to movies, I'm not going to events, I'm just going to work, I am coming home, I'm spending my money on my bills, my groceries, and that's it. If you have a tough month, then you really just have to buckle down, and you know that you will get through it, and if you mess up, then just know that you're learning from that experience. And it's not, when you have a tough month, that's not the end of everything. Nothing is definite. You just have to work a little bit harder or find another way to create an income. And that could be things like, or driving for Uber or Lyft, or you could pick up another weekend job. You could start babysitting. Like, there's so many things that you can do to kind of make tough months not as tough. Oh, another thing is try to keep all of your tax returns, your tax refund statements, your living history, like the apartments you've lived in. Try to keep that all in one file, because it makes it a lot easier later on when you're applying for things like a mortgage or you're trying to buy a car. Those are the kind of things that people ask for when you're asking to borrow more money from them. So make sure that you keep your finances organized. You could separate it by year. I know that's what my dad does, and it's a great method for just keeping your finances balanced. Okay, and then 401ks. Thing is with 401ks, they come with a lot of paperwork and a lot of gibberish. So the thing that I've learned is the most important about a 401k is contribute as much as you possibly can. I know most companies match your contributions. So let's say if you're contributing 7% of each paycheck to your 401k, that's the thing that they're going to match as well. If it's 3%, they're going to match that for you. And in the long run, you're going to be putting money away for retirement, and this is extremely important because the world is just getting more and more expensive, and you don't want to end up retiring and only having $50,000 to your name. It takes a long time to build up a nice investment nest egg. So the sooner you start, the better off you are. So yeah, it's never too early to start saving. So do that. In terms of self-care when it comes to your finances and your budgeting, just make sure that you're not thinking, I think they call it, you're not thinking poor. You need to start thinking rich. So just because you're sitting at home and you're bored does not mean that you need to go shopping. It does not mean that you need to order using Uber Eats, or you don't need to have a pizza. So if you could start thinking about your money as an investment into the future, then you can get out of that paycheck to paycheck cycle. So start making investments. Start being smart with your money. Make sure that you know where your money is going. You're monitoring how your bills are changing every month. If you can make a cut here and there and save your money in the long run for something that's fun like a vacation, then yeah, do that. Just make sure that you're being smart. I know once you get like a job that's actually a salary job, most companies offer you a financial advisor that goes with your 401k. So talk to that person. Make sure that you're asking questions, that you're not saying okay to things that you don't understand. So do a little research on the side. Start picking up terms that financial advisors use or investors use. Just start doing a little reading and a little research on your own. And in the long run, that will really help you be a more stable, more financially savvy adult. So yeah. That is everything that I have for you this week. I know this was a super short episode, but next week I have a great episode with one of my friends named Jamila. She is a poet, a student. She is joining the Peace Corps. She'll be leaving for Ethiopia this June. So tune in. She had a lot of great tips as well as a lot of stories about adulting. So join us next Friday for that conversation. All right, and like usual, please go check out my website. There's new products on there that you guys could buy. You could also follow me on Twitter and Instagram as El Champole. And my website is elshimbole.com. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will talk to you next Friday. All right.